And we are live. Tal Sarig. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you all. So I guess now we need to wait a little bit so everybody can come. Let's see.
Yes. Let's wait a few seconds so everyone will join us. We are sorry for the delay. It was my fault. James, thank you for the call. It was a great call if you see that. I will catch up with you later. Yes, so today we're going to speak with Tal about how to, how will we call it that? Like how to make the real success with Jarvee? Like you
Okay,
don't going to speak. What?
so last time we talked about the basics of Jarvee and basic concepts on automation, and today we're going to focus on strategy. So first of all, so my name is Tal Klinger. I'm doing automation for over and hundreds of accounts in all niches: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and everything is there. On Instagram, we're about 300 plus accounts, and in all the niches we have more and more accounts. I'm also the owner of the social proxy. You have the URL here below, so you can go ahead if you need something from there. And also, I wanted you to meet me a little bit further. So before I started doing automation, I was working as a marketing manager of an HR company, and I was starting with doing automation only on Facebook accounts. At the beginning, I started with 5 accounts, and then just started to take like all their ads and wanted posts, and just posted in a lot of groups. And this is where I grew up and found the world of automation on Jarvee. And actually, the first time that I started doing big scale was after June last year. If I guess you can, all of you remember, that was one of the toughest months in automation at all. So this is the day I started doing automation. I took advantage of the problems that others had because I knew how to solve it from Facebook. I had the knowledge about cookies, user agent, sleeping times, and the mouse and cat method, which I'm going to speak about today. So I actually started everything doing from our caravan. Meanwhile, I've traveled in caravan from Holland and finished at Portugal. So let's stop talking about me. Let's talk about automation a little bit. So today I'm going to speak. So today I'm going to speak about strategy. So
Wait.
to do, yeah.
Wait, Tal, I stop you for a second. I just want for the people to join us. First of all, thank you very much. And before Tal will start to speak about the strategies, just please, if you have specific questions to Tal, we want to cover today all of your questions because last time we didn't have the time for that. So for any questions you have, just post it now and Tal will review it later on. And Tal will start now. Sorry for the interruption. Continue, please.
Okay, so today I'm going to talk about strategy. So the strategy is the key idea on how to control a lot of accounts and even 10 or 5 accounts. Because if you're not organized and you're not doing it right with specific tasks that you need to do each day, you won't be able to manage more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, or 1,000 accounts. If you can do it with the right strategy on the right way, you can manage up to tens of servers, tens of accounts, and actually right now we're managing about 20 something agents, each one of them in different Jarvee, in different server. And if you want to do it right, you need to do it with the right strategy and the right method. So let's talk about organization and how we're going to do it. Just a second. Okay. So the strategy that I'm going with, it's called the cat and mouse strategy, which is always correct on automation. The cat is Instagram and we are the mouse. When the cat changes or do something differently, we need to adapt to his influence or whatever he does to sneak out from the cat. So As you can remember, in June last year, there was a major change. If everybody until then used the API and the 4G proxy, it stopped working and nobody could use like the data center proxies. So since then we grew a lot, and only the toughest people stayed in the niche. So everybody here that I guess is one of the toughest. So in June we used the data center, and how I found out that I need to use a 4G proxy. So the first step was that I went directly to the forums. I started with the MP Social and this group, and I started investigating. If I wasn't like, if I wanted to find a solution to something, I went there, and Black Hat World also, and then I searched for the solution. So I knew that it doesn't work, and I didn't know the solution to my problem. So what I easily done, I went to the forums and searched for the solution. There are a lot of people there, including us, that are putting the results there and what we need to do to make the solution. So this is how I found out that data center doesn't work anymore, and we need to move to the 4G proxy. So if you want to have a good strategy, it needs to rely on a good on a lot of knowledge, and if not your knowledge, other knowledge. So let's think about it. How we can take advantage for the cat and mouse. So in a lot of so a lot of times Instagram have updates. Let me share the screen. So the first thing, let's see, perfect, right? So when Instagram does a change in the algorithm, they post about it. So the first thing you need to do when you're building the strategy, you need to understand the enemy, which is Instagram, which is not the enemy because we're making money because of them. But you can see, you can go directly to Google and ask them for Instagram update. You can ask Google. You can go to the app on Google Play. You can go to the app on Apple. Just a second, and you can see when. Sorry. Sorry. Just a second. Yeah. There's the internet. And
yeah, you missed it a bit. It's over here up. Sorry, a bit down, down. Yeah, sorry.
So you can see the last update right here, and then you can know that when you need to change something. So for my strategy, when I'm doing something, I'm going to follow up Instagram and understand what's going on there. I'm going to see when there is a change in the algorithm, and going to prepare. So the first step that I'm doing, once I know that there is a major update, I'm always going to check the update also. If you go to the App Store of Apple, you can see the updates that it's done. And then you can understand how major is the change, if there was a big change in the API, if there was a big change in the embedded browser, and then you need to understand what you're going to do. So for the most of the updates, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just going to see if something happens. I'm going to be more focused. I'm going to check like a couple of hours if something is changing, if I got blocks. And if something changed, I'm going to close all the servers. Why? Because I don't want to do the mistake on my side. I want to let the other people, I want to shave on their beards and understand if there is a problem. I want to understand how to fix it. So I'm closing all the servers the minute I see there's a big problem or a big change, and I'm closing all the server, and then I'm going to see what's going on and looking for changes on the MP social, on the group, and if someone posts about it. So I'm just like putting the 24 hours the servers for a sleep to see if there is a major change, and then I will know how to react. So I want to see that what is the next step of Instagram. Most of the changes will be happened only on the day of the change. So we'll see most of the blocks and most of the problem the day of the change. I can't explain why. We guess because of the AI, because Instagram is changing everything, and then Jarvee is trying to do actions that are not even there. For example, if they're changing the place of the follow, and Jarvee will go to another place, they will know that we are using automation because we are still doing something without any logic around it. So again, my first advice will do to track the changes of Instagram. If there is a major change, you can see it on the Apple Store, and then you can just close the servers and then look what happens. And also, you can just escape from the first wave when there is the big change to make sure and save to the client's account. Another thing I want to show you, that's great. It's called Down Detector. Down Detector, as it says, detects if there is a major problems on Instagram. So as I told you, I'm tracking the Instagram changes, and also I'm going to see if there is a major problems on Instagram. Why? Because from our experience, we saw that when there is a big change or big problems on Instagram, for example, a while ago we couldn't see some of the clients couldn't log into Instagram, some could, and we noticed that when there is a lot of problems, it will say problems at Instagram. When you get to the hundreds, what you will see, the numbers just go up. Everybody reports here. You can just go and report that you have a problem in Instagram, tell what your problem, people share the problems here. And if I see the numbers go up, then hundreds, I'm stopping also the servers because I want to see what's happened. So part of my strategy is the cat of mouse and to see what was the change, what is the next step, and what is the next obstacle. And once I know what is the next obstacle, I will find the answer and the way to solve it. So how do we find the solutions? So all we need to do, if you're just starting with Jarvee on automation, just go to the forums and go and ask people. They will help you. And when I'm looking for a solution, today I'm not going a lot to the forums and to all the places because I'm looking for the solution first myself to help you guys. So what I'm using test accounts. There are my accounts, not client's account. I'm starting doing different things on them. I'm letting only them to run and with more extreme settings to see if something happens. And if something happens, I will know where is the problem and how to fix it. So if I see like suddenly my profile, my test profile will get blocked or will get compromised, I will also wait a little bit more longer to find a solution. So I want to add to all of this that part of my strategy is to look at the time period of a month and not a day. A lot of people, when they begin automation, they're all day in front of the Jarvee and like trying to do a lot of actions and like think that if they're going to change a lot of things and just to do a lot of different things, they will get better results. But the opposite is the true. I'm getting to each of my servers only once a day out from because of my strategy, because I don't want to touch the accounts too much. I want to make a usual pattern that does the same, but I don't want to change it each day. Like I don't want to go to the account and if there was an action block or temporary block or something like that, to log in, log out, log in, log out, log in, log out until I release it. Because if we will do it, we will go against Instagram. We will look like a bot, and Instagram will know you are a bot. Because nobody goes in and out to Instagram to release a temporary block if they are not doing automation. So this is the way to take the account to be compromised or to get blocked. Don't play with the accounts too much. Put the settings, do whatever you think, and let the 24 hours run. And if you don't get good results in the first 24 hours, it's okay. If you don't get in the 48 hours, it's also okay. You always need to look at the whole month to see the results that you gave to the clients, and don't let them like drive you insane. Like if you know, when you have a lot of clients, they will everybody like, I don't got 10 followers today, I didn't got 30 followers today, last month I got each day 40 followers or 50 followers. Don't let you disturb you or to or to take you out of balance, because you need to be focused and you need to do not a lot of actions in one time, because you don't want to get blocked. You're protecting their accounts when you're acting like that. So again, don't let the clients like drive you insane with a lot of like different requests that don't make any sense. Build your own strategy, build the best way to take them to the right place, and go on with that. A lot of them will tell you put these settings, put those filters, put those filters, but trust yourself. If you did with one account, you can do it on more accounts. Don't start like changing a lot of things on each account, because you could not track the changes. The part of the game is to track the changes that you did, because if I'm doing a change, I'm going to look what happened with the account, I'm going to follow it, I'm going to put it on the name of the account. For example, if I'm changing someone user agent, I'm going to put the new user agent, like the short of it, on the profile name, so I will always know that I did it. If I'm going to add another setting, I'm going to do a plus, and then I'm going to write like really short what was the big change. So when I will go into the server, I will immediately see if something that I did affected the account. If I see the account got blocked, I won't go to all the tools and look what I did wrong. I will just see in the name. This is the part of the strategy to be organized. I'm going to put all the clients on the clients tag and all the scrapers on the scraper tag, so it will be organized. If I'm going to do like a change on 5 of the accounts, I'm going to put them on another tag to follow up the change that I did, because we always want to do in the cat and mouse strategy to follow up the changes of Instagram, and also we want to do a follow-up of what we did. When you get with a lot of accounts, you will lose it very fast, because there is a lot of settings, a lot of accounts, and you will get loose on it. Like, be organized, track the changes of Instagram, and it will be much more easier to control a lot of accounts.
Great. Tal, I want to stop you for a second.
Yeah.
First, thank you very much for all of the knowledge. I'm sure you gave a lot of value. Just before you continue, there were 2 questions. So just if you can answer that, what tools should we completely stay away from when using Instagram?
So actually right now I'm doing comments, like, follow, unfollow, story view. I'm not using all the other tools, although I can. I can use all the tools. I can do posting, I can do all the tools, but, and there is a big but, 99 of the accounts that I'm working on is only follow, unfollow. Why? Because this is the most effective way for me to do automation. Because if I'm doing 250 likes a day, I won't get the same results as I'm doing the follow, and it will require more work for me and more concentration to see what's the difference on the likes and if it works differently. I'm doing it for special clients that ask me to do it with special reasons, but I'm always telling that I don't recommend it, because if there will be a change, it will be easier for me to track it on the follow than on the like, and to find the right solution there. So part of my strategy is to focus most of the client on the most effective tool that I know, and right now it's the follow and follow. Do they have more questions, or to continue?
This guy wants special discount for the live.
Great. I think that we can write the special the special coupon for the live, and we'll put it soon, don't worry. I have a general Jarvee question. How effective is posting it to stories from Jarvee? Okay, first, if you want to post stories to Jarvee, you need to use the API. Jarvee, you can't post stories with Jarvee without the API. What is the problem with that? Because we don't want to use the API a lot because it has it has more compromise and more block. So if you do so and go and post stories, do it from the API, but do the only actions from the API. Just you can do it on the advanced settings of the social profile. It is effective if you have a good content. Hashtag locations, the same. If you do it right, it will work. There are a lot of people that doing only content and they have really great results, but you need to have a great content.
Yes, I will also add to your question, James, that now Jarvee made a few updates and you can actually add sticker and you can add text, you can add a sticker, DM me on their recent updates. And you can even tag users in your stories, and even add like second level taggings that even you can tag users that won't see each other on the stories. This is one of the last updates of July. And for the relaxation, if Instagram stays the same as you were doing manually, that's a good one. It's not exactly like yes or no. It depends. Like if you use a proxy, like a 4G proxy, so it looks extremely like you do it in your phone. But if you like, let's say you upload the story from your phone and you upload the story from Jarvee, it won't look the same because you don't have all the options you have on your phone. You do have a few options, and they also add a few now, but it's not the same. I mostly like to do the stories manually, but you can test it out also with Jarvee. Like as Tal said, all new scrapers from API. It's best recommended to use the main account API. Tal, you have a few more questions. This one.
Yeah, I'm doing 200 actions, although I'm letting my test accounts doing up to 300 actions. It goes well for a month and a half already. But as you can see, it goes 300 actions per day for a month and a half, but still I'm not copying the settings to the client's account because I want to see how it reacts over time. So today I'm doing up to 200 actions. Great. Today I'm doing two up.
I just want to show them that, I want to show them you can do more than 200, but the risk is after 1-2 months, the task of the account getting low, right? When you do that, like more than 200.
Exactly. So again, I'm doing with my test accounts much more than 200. If only if I will see it works for 2 or 3 months, like straight with no problems, I will transfer it to the client's account. This is the part of the strategy that we're doing with the test accounts. There are more questions, so to continue.
Last one.
That's good.
Without getting load, shadow banned, shadow blocked, or any other kind of block. Okay. So this is, sorry, it's the same question.
That's a great question. Let's talk about the shadow block and the blocked. So there are the temporary block, which is the soft block, the hard block, and the shadow block. So temporary block happens. It happens. If you are doing the right warm up, it will happen once a month, or even more, or even will not happen if you're using the right proxies and everything. But temporary block is okay because you just like it's getting the temporary block. You went 24 hours, and the day after that you release it. You can just release it with login, logout with the embedded browser. The hard block, we're running a lot of accounts right now. From a lot of accounts, I have maybe one hard block for 3 days. We didn't have a lot of hard blocks at the last month, almost none at all. It can happen. 99% of the time is on the client side. I hope that I will get to it. In this live. And about the shadow ban. So shadow ban I heard a lot of times. I think I even got a shadow ban of on one of my test accounts. It was my dog accounts, but So what I seen that I can grow the account a lot. I can get to thousands of followers, and if I wait a week after I finished, it will just be released. I never saw account got stuck with shadow bounds.
Last one, and then we'll continue. For a starting account on Jarvee with fresh 1,000 plus followers, how many actions do we start from daily?
Okay, so one of our clients, more than one of our clients, doing the mother and child, and to make those accounts, we made 10 profiles from scratch. We started from accounts with 0 followers. That the first day that it saw Instagram was 3 weeks before we bought it, and we get to 200 actions per day. So it doesn't matter how warmed the account before, as long you are doing it right and not being detected. By the way, I'm starting from 10 to 20 actions per day, and each day I'm going with 10 to 20 actions until I get to 200.
Thank you, Tal. Continue.
Great. So the other thing I want to say about the strategy is don't do all the changes at one time. Okay, like Jarvee have an update, like the mention tool. Don't go to all the accounts and add the mention tool, because you don't know what will happen, because nobody knows, because nobody's tried it. So if you want to do a change, do it on 1, 2, 3 counts top. Don't copy the settings to all the clients, because if you will get an hit, you will get an hit on all of them. Getting hit on one account is one thing, but getting hit on 100 or 30 or 10 accounts, it's much more harder, because you have like then 10 people calling you, oh, I got blocked, I got something, and it will be very hard to manage it. You will get to panic. But so if you do any change or anything or new setting, do it on 1, 2, or 3 accounts top. See that it works 24 hours to 48 hours, even before they try it on the test account, and only then copy it to the other accounts. As I told you, even if they follow with 300 per day or 350 per day, I'm doing a month and a half or 2 months until I'm transferring it to my client's account, because I don't want to risk them. I'm going to be the most protective for the accounts. I'm going to go straight, and I'm going to do it very, very, very safely. So this is for the strategy. Part of my strategy is the sources. I will explain. The biggest advantage that you can do is to find the right sources. It will help you with everything. It will help you with the scraping, and also it will help you with the client. On the scraping side, if you get a source that has like 5,000 friends and only 3 likes on each post, you know that 99% of his followers are fake. And even if you scrape them and bring them to the main account, the specific user, and you will scrape 4,900 accounts, like without any of them passing the filter. So we just like use the scrape force for no reason and just waste it. You will burn a scraper, will waste time, and you want to do nothing. You need to choose the right sources that fits to your niche, and you need to choose the right sources that don't have thousands of followers that are not real, because they won't go from the filter, because you're filtering the fake accounts, and the fake accounts won't follow back the accounts. That's great.
I want you to explain about like how to find the right sources. So let's say, sorry, for Justin Bieber, it's a good sources. So like how to find good sources. Let's say I have a puppies page.
What?
Let's say I have like a puppies. I have my account. This is my account. Sorry. And I want to get like a more account that's relevant to my account and to get more people to my page. This one. So Give an example, like how to find it, for when to start.
So when I'm starting for a new source, what I'm going to the hashtag that I want. I'm going to look for the top hashtag, but my thumb rule is not going for any source than more than 10,000. Okay, so I'm looking for the biggest source, but I'm looking for some source that don't go over 10,000, and I'm looking for a source that it makes sense that the number of followers that he has the same number of likes. So, for example, Adi, can you take me for? Okay, let's say one of their posts. Can you click on one of the posts? Great. So I can see that he has 5,000 friends, but he has 37 likes. So it doesn't make any sense. So probably most of his followers is fake or not real. Okay, so that's actually better, but I'm going to look with accounts with a lot of engagement because they have like followers that are engaging with the profile, and also they don't have a lot of fake followers. So I know that I don't need to filter like just accounts with a lot of false followers. The other thing that I'm doing to decide if a source fits me or not is just doing A/B testing. I will explain. I'm taking like 30 or 40 sources. I want only 5. I'm putting all of them on the accounts while I'm doing the warm-up. I'm telling the client that I'm doing a warm-up for the week. So I'm taking advantage for the week for 2 things. To do more actions. I'm starting from 10 to 20. At 10, I get to 200. And until then, I can see the follow back ratio on the account. If I have like a source that brings me low numbers of follow back ratio, I'm just deleting and I'm starting with 30. And until the end of the weeks, I'm just like going to finish with 5 sources, which are the best and the strongest sources for the account. So this strategy I called A/B testing. It's the same as people doing with website. They put the sources. As you can see, we try with most of our accounts work with at least 15% follow back ratio. So if I'm following 100 people, I will get at least 15 followers. I'm doing 200 actions, so each of my accounts will get at least 30 followers back each day, which is really pretty good, solid number of followers per account. And if you're going to 40 or 30, we'll get 60 or 70 or 80 followers per day with only 200 actions. When we started doing automations, I could have done 1,000 actions per day. And then my best source was 5%, 10% top. And then even then I didn't go to the number that I'm getting today because part of the strategy is good follow back ratio with good sources. And one thing, I want to add another thing. Always understand the needs of the client. So if you have a lot of clients that have a lot of different things that they want, you can build different niches and different servers to each of them. But if you don't have a lot of clients, just try to speak with the owner of the account. Try to understand what they want to achieve. There are some clients who will just want a lot of followers. Most of the clients are like that. They just want to see the number goes. We'll have some clients that will need a specific location because they're a bar, that they have no interest for someone that lives in Berlin, for example, and if they're living in Hamburg. So try to understand what they want to achieve and build a strategy around it. So we'll choose the sources according to it. So if I will have someone that wants to, get a lot of followers, I will put like follow back ratio sources. But if I have someone that wants only people on his neighborhood, I will put a location source. Although it will have like 10 or 5% follow back ratio, each one of them can worth a lot to the client. There are actually some clients that are B2B, for example, that each sale can earn them a lot of money, so they don't need a lot of followers. They need only 1 or 3 or 2 or 10, but specifically in their niche and specifically want to find the right followers for them. Of course, it's the prices are different for each of a kind. So if you need to build a full strategy for specific someone, you can charge more from them. It really depends. So this is about sources. So again, my thumb rule about it is to choose accounts less than 10,000. You can choose accounts like that, but if you do so, just like do a little pick of the followers that they have to see that they are not fake and that they're the people that you need. The other one is to check the engagement, and the third thing is to do A/B testing. Put a lot of sources and then delete all the ones that you don't need. It will make you a big difference. Okay, so do we have time to talk about block or to answer some questions?
Yes, if you can just answer about these questions, then if you can answer about the other two, just about the engagement to just talk now. So how much engagement do you suggest for sources? How can we check the engagement percentage?
Okay, you can actually use Jarvee to do so. We'll open one of the servers. Just a second. Actually, didn't want to show Jarvee this live, but I say there is no reason
Yeah,
not to.
use Jarvee for that. It's so like
So for my thumb rule, I'm doing it if I'm seeing 1,000 followers and 10 likes, I know something suspicious. So this is like, you can just do a logic with that. But if you want to do it more precise, you can go to one of your scrapers. I'll share my screen for a second. You can go to user and hashtags, and actually you can choose the engagement you want to filter by engagement. More than 5% on 10,000 followers account is pretty good and solid, which is much more than you need. You can also go with 3%, but you need to do also A/B testing. So you have the user and hashtags tool you can use here to filter all the accounts that you don't want that are less than the engagement. Other questions?
yes, there are two more questions, but I think we will keep it to the end. I want you to speak about the blocks before we finish, and then we'll answer the last two questions.
Okay, so before the blocks, actually, to show you something really cool, which helped me a lot to gain a lot of knowledge on my clients. So a lot of the blocks that you get, if you're doing it right, will be because the client is doing something wrong. I will go and explain all the blocks things, but you can actually track the clients and to see what they are doing wrong from the profile itself. If you go to the embedded browser and go to the settings, you have two things that you need to see. You have the login activity, and then you can see all the places they are login. So for example, I'm logging in only in Israel here, but if I was logging to someplace else, for example, in China or in Portugal or somebody else, I would have known it, and then I would ask her, okay, which is this connection and why is it connected to the account? You can also see all the devices that are connected to the account. For example, if you will see your device here, so when you log in from Jarvee, I'm using Mac, for example, and if I will go from Jarvee, I will see the user agent that I'm using, and I will know all the logins that are from me. For example, I can see a Windows here. I know that I'm not using a Windows. I know the clients use it on the phone, so I'll ask him who is the Windows, and then this is the best way to track problems on your client's account without even talking with them and becoming prepared before. And even if you want to get deeper, I'm not actually know that if Adi knows it, but you can go you can go to the privacy and security, and then you can go to view account data, and actually you can see everything that the account did here. You can actually see which ads will come to you. You can see which follows you did, which accounts you blocked. So if you're telling to yourself, okay, I'm doing 200 actions, and you think that that although the client's doing 200 actions, you can just go to the accounts you follow and just check it out, and to see if he added more accounts and if he did more follows or everything from here without even talking with them. So I'm going to talk about everything on the client side that can make blocks, and this is how you can track and know if they're making the block on, or this is something on your side. So there are three major things that can make hard block on the account. I'm not talking about temporary block, I'm talking about hard block and compromised. The first of them is if one account is connected to a lot of devices. So as you can see, my account was connected to a lot of accounts, a lot of devices, which is not good. When you're doing automation, you want only you and the client that you don't have any choice that he needs to be connected to his account. To be connected to the account, you don't want any Windows or any other device, especially Windows. I don't know how to explain it, but I can say that with my experience that a lot of the blocks that I'm getting are accounts that are connected from Windows also. So just like take a look of that. Make sure that you are not connected on other places. Where the problem can be is when you have like a famous client or someone that, or you're working with an agency that you're doing automation for them with the white label, and that they are connected to a lot of accounts from different devices. So you have the client and you have someone that does the posting. So it's already three people that you don't want, because it probably will get more blocks. Another thing that you need to be aware of is is a lot of account on one device. So there are a lot of times that, as example for agencies that are managing the client, so what they need to do, they need to log in also to the accounts. They have like 10 or 20 accounts, 5 on the computer, 5 on the phone, but they're all using the same Wi-Fi. Using the same Wi-Fi, the same IP means the same device. If you have like 3 phones using the same Wi-Fi, it's the same device. So this is most of the problems come from that point, because if you're working with an agency or something which is famous that somebody does the posting for them, they probably log into other accounts, and the Instagram thinks that all the accounts belong to one person. I can open like Tal account, Tal account 2, Tal account 3, Tal account 4, Tal account 5. Instagram will think that all the accounts are the same account, and they won't bring me traffic as 5 accounts. They will bring me traffic as 1 account, and they will let me do 200 actions. So if I have 5 accounts on the same device, I can do on each of them 40 actions and not 200. So if you want to get to 200 actions, you don't need to let your clients to be logged in more than 1 account, and also they're connecting the account. So if we have 1 account that does 200 actions manually, and you are trying to do another 2 actions on automation, it will be a major problem. Application. So did you wonder why you're scrolling down on Instagram and you see a lot of apps that you don't understand how people makes money and advertise to you? Like why people would spend money on a game that doesn't do any ads, or doesn't bring them money for any reason? So I will give you the answer for that. It's very simple, because you are the product. When your clients or you downloading an app that you don't know how they make money, this is because you are making money for them. Neither they are using your IP to do something, or they're tracking you and collecting data on you. So this can make a lot of problems on the automation. You can't always know which app does it. For example, you can use Boomerang on Instagram, but there is a lot of apps that tells you, I will bring you more followers if you download the app. I can edit. I can edit your photos, but you never know which of the apps uses your data. You can go and read everything that the app says on the App Store, but I don't think that anybody does it. So just go for the big apps. Don't go for apps that you don't know who's the owner of it, which is not a big organization, because you're not knowing which data they're collecting, if they're using your IP. So there are a lot of, for example, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but one of the biggest providers of proxy called Illuminati. They also have another company called Ola VPN. Ola VPN is just giving VPNs for free to anybody that wants. You can just download Ola VPN. We'll have a great VPN for free. Where is the catch? That they use the same IP that you're using. They're taking the IP and selling to other people. And then you're using the IP, somebody else using the IP that you don't know who, and then they are also doing actions. So the problem comes from that point. So don't use apps that you don't know. And if you have a problem with one of the clients, check which apps he uses. It may surprise you. And if you're not sure which of the apps, try to log the client out for a week or for 3 days or for 5 days. See if you're doing everything smoothly. And if you're doing everything smoothly, probably it's because something was bad on their phone. And then you will say, okay, I see that without you, I'm doing great. With you, it's much more harder. And then you can get to the conclusion that something is wrong on their side. The last of them is double actions. Tell your clients not to do actions. Tell them that you're doing it for them. There is no reason that they will do a daily hashtag if you're doing the daily hashtag or following people from them. So just tell them to give you the hashtag that they want to do. Set Jarvee to do 40 actions there. Just tell them not to do extra actions, because you're doing 200 actions. They're doing daily hashtag with 40 actions. And what happened? You get a temporary block, you get a block, or you get something worse. So make sure that they are not doing actions, but I'm letting my clients do actions, but not a lot. If they see a friend that they want to follow, if they see a photo of a friend that they want to like, let them do it. It's okay, but don't exaggerate it with that. Tell them not to do more than 3, 4, 5 actions per day tops, because we want to know everything that happens with the account. And if they are telling you that they are not, and you know that you're doing everything correctly, go and check on their data. The answer will be there. Yeah. So I think we have some time for questions.
Great. Wow, Tal, thank you so much. I think you spoke about the things that we never talked to on the group and also on YouTube. I don't know if everyone's following Tal's tips, but you cannot find this data, not in YouTube and not even in the group. So I recommend to take notes and even to watch again to see and to hear everything that he said. Everything is exactly like he explained. Yes, so a few questions. Robert asking here, sorry. Tal, this is
Someone
you can answer.
Can also see Java accounts more regularly, or okay. So I I will advise to do it the best way you can do it. If you don't have the necessary time to do it, don't do it. And the necessary time doesn't mean that you need to be on Jarvee all day. As I told here, I'm getting to each of my servers only once a day on purpose, because I don't want to do extra changes. I want to do one change per day max. So we don't need to spend a lot of time on the server, but you need to spend a lot of time to collect the data and the knowledge to do it properly. So I will hire an expert if I don't have the time to read this group, MP Social or Black Hat Word Forum.
Great, and I will add, Robert, you can also talk with me and with Tal. I think we talked a few times in the past, so feel free to reach out to us. We do many white table partnerships, with many US companies, great companies. So you know where to find that. Another question, Tal, do you have any experience with other automation software? For example, if someone does the actions manually, is able to do more actions before getting blocked?
That's a great question, because I know some apps that work as an AI. I know some people that work manually, and I know some people that build a micro on a phone, that phone just runs and do the actions like Jarvee. That they're all like programmers that build it specifically. Until now, I saw the most effectiveness in Jarvee. I will explain why. Because they have a big team that sits all day, that thinks how to make it better. It's very hard to compete with a big team that does it all day for a long time. I think that there are exceptions for some specific programs. So, for example, if you need specific tasks to do, you can build a specific program for it. But if you want to grow clients, I think the best way to go is with Jarvee, because again, they're sitting all day and trying to figure the best way to do it. I used several on other platforms. For example, for TikTok, I'm not using Jarvee. I'm using the bot that I bought especially for TikTok, because Jarvee is not there yet with the automation. It's not specialized enough. But as long as we're talking about Facebook or Instagram, I'm using only Jarvee. Although I tried all the others, I found this the best one. Again, not because they are the smartest or the best one, because they're sitting on the reses and doing that all day and thinking what's the best way to do it. And actually, they're going to MP Social and answering people and helping them. If there is a big change, you can write them directly on the support ticket, and they will try to fix it. They will put it on a list of tools that or changes they want to do. So it's like they brought all the community together. So if someone finds a solution to a problem, they're applying it for everybody else.
Thank you, Tal. Thank you, Robert. Tal, this is for you. Dennis Lloyd. He's the best.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about it, but he have a new song called Alien. I'm really recommending to hear it.
Wait, Tal, you're a bit stuck, or maybe it's my internet. What did you say?
I said that if you're putting the focus on it, Dennis Lloyd has a new song called Alien, so I recommend to go and listen to it. Also to Major Lazer if you have the time.
Can you please talk about error 508?
So I'm not sure with the numbers, but I think it's the temporary block. It's like the right idea. It's like you're too spamming for me, something like that, right?
Yes, you're right. Like the 508, okay. It's like a temporary block, and the 550. Sorry, continue.
So it's the temporary block, just like I'm calling it a soft block. So I'm doing two actions. So some of the temporary block getting released in the next action, so we can get a temporary block. You can do an action after 5 minutes, it will go smoothly. So you have like, we'll show it on Jarvee. So for the temporary block, they especially build this. Okay, you have these options that you say that if I got a temporary block, check again after 3 or 10 minutes, and then my setting is like that. I will explain why. So if I have a temporary block, it just like stop doing actions for 3 or to 10 minutes, which is the 508. And then if it has another block, temporary block, so it's a proper soft block, and you can release it only with login and log out. So I'm putting like the time of 1080 to 1900, not because it's like a magic number, because it gives me enough time to release it myself. I'm doing re-login and login, and I don't want to do it like a follow, although it's already temporarily blocked. I want to do it. I don't want to do it like over and over and over. If it's a temporary block, I want to release it first and not do a lot of actions. So this is why it's meant for. And by the way, as I said before, Jarvee is really great because somebody saw the problem, asked to Jarvee to fix it, and then they added this.
Thank you, Tal. Don't forget the discount code. Keep it valid for a week, please. Don't forget it, Tal.
I'm putting
Lee,
right now, if somebody hears, so it's DR30. I also put it in the comments.
this is the code. Lee, thank you for the invitation. Me and Tal will talk with you. Lee developed some auto automation tool. Thank you for that. Yeah, so you going to the concert, Tal?
Students, I didn't know there is.
I think there's Corona, no? I don't know, like the COVID-19. I don't know if we can go out. Thank you. So this is the code for Tal, the social proxies. Before we finish, do you have any more questions? We have like 19 people over here now. Thank you for watching, by the way. We appreciate your time.
So if I have 5 more minutes, I would like to talk about API and embedded browser because embedded browser and API could literally sounds like a code someone that doesn't understand. So the difference between API and embedded browser, it's the API is actually doing actions like the app, okay? API is like when you're telling that you're injecting code into the software and telling them, okay, I followed, I did something. It's like you're going into the Instagram app and doing actions. When we're talking about the embedded browser, it's just like opening a Chrome on the phone and then just like doing actions on the Chrome on the phone, which is like a difference. Why I think that the embedded browser works better than the API? Because the API is using the app and the app can track you better. I will explain. When you're doing like, when you move your hand on the screen, when you're your Instagram app, they can track your fingerprint and they can track where you did and what you did, like very specifically, like how long it was, how was the scrolling and everything. When you're doing it from the embedded browser, the Chrome or which agent you bring to the app, it doesn't share all the info as the app have when you're using the API. So it's easier to detect you when you're doing something that has then they can collect more knowledge on you than doing the embedded browser that it's harder for them to collect knowledge or even to find the problem with the data they collected on you.
Cool. Thank you, Tal. And now you know everyone, I'm guessing everyone already knows now that you can use the API of the scrapers and you don't must use the API on your account. As Tal just said, it's much safer for the account as we are seeing that, and as Jarvee official team also recommend you about it on the last email. We do know that some companies and some people doing the actions from the API directly or doing the API emulation. It can also work. We doesn't say it doesn't work, as we are seeing that it's more dangerous for locked account and for more issues and for more blocks. But this is just our words of our how we believe. Thank you guys. You have one more question in Tal. Do you recommend doing likes before, after follow? I guess it counts through the max actions per day.
Okay, so I don't have official answer for that. If you have, you can do, you can't do 200 follows and 200 likes, but you can combine them together. I'm not doing it because it's less effective. I will prefer to do more follow than like because it has more follow back ratio. So I can do it. I'm doing it with some of the accounts, but I less recommend it because it's less effective for me.
I can tell from my experience, I did get more issues with the likes before or after, a bit of more blocks from my experience. What I like to watch the stories after I do the follow. Not 100%, of course, around like 60, 70, 80% of the watching stories. I think it also looks a bit more human when you like see someone new and you see these stories. By the way, I don't know if you know, Tal, we talked about it. I don't think we talked about it. Like now Instagram, I don't know if you know that, it started on the end of June. They make a new experience with a feed full of stories. I don't know if you saw that. You saw that? Great. So,
Actually, no.
What is it?
I didn't saw it.
Why? You must see that. I will show it in a sec. So if Instagram made a new feed, like made a new test. I think it's not in a lot of places, but it does. I know it's in France and United States, and you have the option to see full feed of stories. I will show it in a sec.
Can you also show Lee Twitter comment? I want to respond for it.
Sure. Sorry.
So, okay, so about the API, you might be correct and I'm wrong. I want to add that the API that they're bringing it to Jarvee to use is not the public one. It's not the official API. There is the public API that they allow apps to use, but the API that Jarvee uses is another API that is not official of Jarvee. It's not official of Instagram.
Yes, you're right. And that's why basically when you're seeing many updates of Instagram API and like an app that doesn't going to work and many things are doing on their API side. So it's mostly doesn't affect Jarvee. This is why I all the time see on MP like people posting API update on the 29th of June, but it's not relevant for you. So don't take it so hard. Chaim just mentioned you can limit it to maximum 80 likes so you can combine it. That's cool, Chaim. This works good for you, the likes after follow? For me, it didn't work so well, but I'm happy if it's working good for you. Let us know in the comments so more people can test it. Last question. Do you build the database like in Excel based on your research from Jarvee?
So I'm doing it. We have an Excel with the follow sources, but I'm not collecting all the data. I'm letting the Jarvee manage the data. Most of the data that I need is on Jarvee, and I can work with Jarvee to bring me the best data as blocks and something like that. And also have another Excel that if I see that an account doesn't get to the limit or getting patterns of temporary blocks, I'm putting it there so I won't forget that I'm getting temporary blocks there and like doing the same things. So if I see that the same name appears 2 or 3 times, I know that something is wrong and I need to deeply check it.
Thank you, Tal. Chaim just mentioned that he did the test for the likes after the follow and it works good for him. Thank you, Chaim. I'm happy to see it's working. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Tal. It's everything with Tal. Thank you. Do you have any last question before we finish? If someone has any questions, so feel free to comment and we will take from Tal's time a bit more, just a bit. If you want to see how it looks like the Instagram experience, you can see it now. This is how it looks, the new feed. For some of you, maybe you already saw that. You can like open full screen of only stories. Some people say it doesn't look good. Some people say it looks good. I don't know. I didn't decide yet. This is how it looks. Yes. What else? What else? I think that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching. Tell us words before we finish.
If you can put the coupon and the URL in the post will be great.
The coupon and the code. Oh, yes. So for all of you who don't know, Tal is the owner of the social proxy, the best social proxy company in the world. 4G, by the way. And wait, got 550 error. How to solve it? Tal, you want to explain?
And again, I'm not sure with the numbers.
All the numbers is the error 550. It's like the error of like you don't have a scraper account, and it's writing you don't have.
Yeah. So Jarvee always need to have some accounts to be logged in to the API. So if you have some accounts that, if you have all the accounts logged in only to the EB, to the embedded browser, it won't work. Why? Because Jarvee collects knowledge about the accounts from the scrapers account. I will explain it easier. So you have like the main account and you have the scraper account. So the main account can do any actions if it doesn't filter first from the scraper account. So all you need to do is just to connect a scraper account on the API, not on the embedded browser. So even the login into Jarvee requires API calls. So it uses the scraper API call. This is how we don't risk the main account. So to fix it, it's very easy. Just connect a scraper account. What I'm doing, I'm connecting for each client a scraper account. So to solve it, we need just to connect an account to the API.
Oops, I spoke now? You hear me?
No, that's it.
That's it? Yes, I just want to say that I even add, you can see 98 scrapers. I even recommend to add, for some people, it has like very many filters. So if you want to get more users, so 2 scrapers for one account if you have many filters. Minimum post, not specific words, and a specific number of followers following. So even 2 scrapers per account will be good. If you don't have a lot of filters, so as you said, Tal, 1 scraper will be enough. And
last thing, another thing that you need to take in mind, that if you're using more than 10 accounts on a computer or VPS, check your CPU on the computer. A lot of times the EB requires a lot of CPU powers, and you need to upgrade the VPS or the computer. And what you need to go is to do go to the task manager and then to the performance and see how many cores you have, and if the CPU doesn't get to up to 60 or 70, so you will get all the actions you want to do the same way, the same day.
Thank you for the TikTok questions. Honestly, if you want to get the real answer for that, so talk with Michael from TikTok Marketing Secrets. He knows how to help. He will tell you how to make money from your account. And of course, he can give you a few ideas and, like when partnership with some companies and, monetization of that. But Michael, TikTok Marketing Secrets, just write it on Facebook or I will comment with a link. Michael is the best, honestly. And last question over here, is there a video guide and explanation for the new scraping method? I did actually post about it on May. I know we're in July, but the May video actually still, Did you saw my May video? No, I didn't, so you don't need. But the May video is still relevant for July. We will make a new video for July, but it's pretty much the same, so just check my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tal, for your great live. Maybe you will come here more, you just come once in a few months. It's not cool.
You're right.
Yeah, come, like we need you.
We are working on a lot of great things. Actually, we're going to introduce you to a panel soon, also to new proxies and a lot of new things soon. So we'll have a lot of more time, and there will be more surprises in the future.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your support and your help. And we'll see you in the group. I will put the link for Tal, the social proxy, and the discount over here on the top. And that's it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.